Yo, let's go, guys. Today is a big day for all you Pro Clubs players out there because EA just released the FC 26 Clubs deep dive pitch notes article on their website that y'all can go ahead and check out. I'm going to be going over it in this video. Luckily for me, EA actually sent me that article a bit earlier so I could get this content out at like the same time they release it on their website to the public. So I'm going to be going over all this stuff, giving my opinions on it and all that good stuff. And from what I've seen, I glanced over it, haven't read it all fully. It's pretty long, and there's a good amount of changes coming to clubs, and probably the most changes I've seen from one year to the next for pro clubs. So I'm hopeful for FC26. Seems like EA is giving it some love, and it's looking good for the future of clubs. I'll try to get the link to the article and put it in the description of this video so y'all can look at it and read along at y'all's own pace, because I'm probably not going to have much text in this video. I'm just going to be reading along from the article and then giving my thoughts on the stuff that's coming to clubs in 26. There's a lot of stuff here, so this might be somewhat of a long video. To get started, the first thing they say is, welcome to the EA Sports FC26 Clubs Deep Dive Pitch Notes. From revamped player progression with archetypes to dynamic clubs, rush live events, and community requested features like support for multiple clubs, we're excited to bring significant clubs updates to FC26. So that was kind of like a really quick summary, and then they're going to go in depth on a lot of that stuff. So the first thing they're talking about is archetypes. So archetypes are basically like a brand new build system. They're scrapping the skill tree that they've had for a long time in pro clubs, and this is going to be the new way of making a build. So archetypes deliver a new progression system to clubs in FC26. You'll be able to unlock, progress, and develop 13 distinct player archetypes, each inspired by an icon of world football, and each built to give you options that fit your style of play. Each of the 13 archetypes come with its own set of unique characteristics, and the new customization experience gives you more control over how you develop your pro. This is honestly going to be a really cool change and just refreshing because it's something new. We've had skill trees for just so many years in a row, and it's cool to just see just a brand new build system. So they actually listed all these archetypes. They have some pictures provided for us, and we can go over them. So basically the archetypes are split into forward, midfielder, and defender. So these archetypes will be leveled up individually. You won't just have like one level system. Say like this year you only play striker, you can get to level 100, level 120, whatever it is, and then you can just randomly play center back and you'll be level 120. You're not going to be able to do that in 26. You'll level up just one archetype, and then if you want to use a different archetype, then you'll have to start from scratch and then level that one up. So I think that's pretty cool. But the good thing is it won't take like a very long time to level up these archetypes, just one archetype. It will take a while if you want to like max out every archetype. So let's look at these forward archetypes, and the first one that they have is Magician, and the description says, combining remarkable control, dribbling, and vision, this player creates chances out of very little, both for themselves and teammates. And then the signature playstyles are technical and finesse shot, and we'll go into signature playstyles later. So don't think about it too much right now. Then there's a finisher, possesses a killer instinct in front of goal, a beast when one-on-one with the keeper, low driven shot and first touch for signature playstyles. And then there's target, which is going to be like a target man, kind of like aerial threat, I'm assuming. Classic hold-up player that harnesses their physicality in duels both on the ground and in the air. And it comes with power shot and precision header. One thing I wish they kind of showed in these pictures was like what player, what icon of the game these archetypes are based on. It would have been pretty neat if they showed something like that, but maybe in game it'll actually have something showing which player this archetype is based off of. So like for the Magician, I'm thinking of like a Johan Cruyff type of player, finisher, maybe like a Marco van Basten, like, or for a player now, a current player, Lewandowski type of player. And then target man, I'm thinking like a Didier Drogba type of build with the power shot and then the header playstyle. It seems like that would be a Drogba-esque type of archetype. So going to the midfielder ones, there's 4 on this one. So 3 for forward, 4 for midfielder. And the first one is Recycler. So the description, this passing machine is critical to taking the ball from the back line and giving it to your most dangerous attackers. Press proven intercept. So I'm thinking that's more of like a defensive midfielder type of archetype. And what's also really cool about these archetypes you can use like a midfielder one, but you could use it as a striker if you wanted. You could use it as a defender. Like you could take one of these midfielder ones, use it as like a ball playing defender or something. They don't have to be restricted to the midfield. So like you can legit use like one of the defender archetypes and try it out at striker if you really wanted to. So that's the recycler. Press proven and intercept are actually pretty nice playstyles. That seems pretty interesting. So let me read that description again. Passing machine is critical to taking the ball from the back line and giving it to your most danger. So you're gonna get the ball and then kind of like just be like a distributor, basically, kind of like a deep line playmaker. It seems like. Maestro, orchestrating the game from deep. This player can unlock a defense to create chances for their forwards. This comes with tiki taka and ping pass, or maybe that's kind of like a deep line playmaker, or maybe that's a little bit more advanced, kind of like an Iniesta or Xavi kind of type thing. Not too sure. And then for the creator is the next one, capable of delivering precise and incisive passes that can dismantle even the most organized backlines. Incisive pass and inventive pass, which is a new playstyle. So creator seems like it's more of like an attacking mid cam type of role where you're kind of like Zidane or Kevin De Bruyne, where you're going to be making that final pass and you're going to be a little bit more offensive, while Maestro seems it's going to be a bit more defensive, kind of like a center mid box to box type of role. And then the last one is Spark, which this one seems like it would be best as a winger. So excels in short, explosive burst, getting to the byline and pulling back, tantalizing crosses for teammates. And this one gives rapid and trickster as the signature playstyles. And I believe you can switch these playstyles. I believe that's possible. I think they mentioned that later on in the article. So don't get too fixated about like these just playstyles just being set to this archetype. I think you can at least switch one. We'll take a look at that later. Now for defender archetypes, the first one is Progressor, a modern center back capable of stepping out of the back line to start attacks with progressive passing. So this is basically a ball playing center back, and I would think it would be based off like Beckenbauer or a player like that is really good at playing out of the back and is capable of hitting nice passes and starting the attack for your team. So that one comes with long ball pass as the signature playstyle and anticipate. So that's actually a pretty nice combo. And I bet that would be really good as a CDM. I could see a lot of people use the progressor as a CDM, not just as a center back. The next one is Boss, wins the ball with imposing physicality, willing to put everything on the line for the team. Bruiser and aerial fortress, and I instantly think of like a Nemanja Vidic type of center back where you're just an absolute beast, a physical monster. That's the role you're going to be. Just no nonsense center back. You probably won't be as good when it comes to dribbling and passing compared to the progressor, obviously, but you're going to be more physical, better aerial prowess and all that kind of stuff. So that comes with a bruiser and aerial fortress. So if you want to be a beast center back, you're definitely going to want to go with the boss archetype. The next one is Engine. This player's incredible stamina allows them to maintain maximum effort throughout the match, even while others are tiring. The engine keeps on going and going. So I think of, even though this is a defender one, I'm almost thinking like a Ji-Sung Park type of player, where it could be like a wingback type of player that's just bombing up and down. But this could easily be used as like a box to box midfielder or like a wingback or even a fullback. So this comes with Jockey and Relentless. And then the last one is Marauder, a defensive specialist whose pulsating pace means they're also comfortable and effective going forward. And this comes with whipped pass and quick step. So I believe this is based off of like a Cafu type of fullback, where you're pretty much just a fullback that can attack and throw in a cross with the whipped pass playstyle, and then the quick step is really nice. So I could even see people playing this as like a box to box midfielder or in multiple different positions. This seems like it's going to be a pretty good one, especially with quick step. But maybe not a box to box. If you're going to have a whipped pass, that might not be the most helpful. But definitely as a like winger, a wingback, or a fullback, it could be pretty good. Then the last two are goalkeeper archetypes, and the first one is shot stopper. Unfazed when faced with an attacker one-on-one, can be relied upon to make difficult saves. Comes with footwork and far reach. And then the second one is sweeper keeper, a modern day keeper comfortable with the ball at their feet and with a high defensive line. It comes with cross claimer and 1v1 close down. So that'll be interesting. Not too sure which one will be better, but footwork is obviously very good. Far reach is really good, but so is the 1v1 close down. Like a lot of keepers use the 1v1 close down, and with the new goalkeeper system, it should be interesting to see how good keepers can get. But that's all 13 of the archetypes. Let me know in the comments what y'all think of the archetypes, or one that you think you'll try first, and you might be a big fan of, or maybe there's a type of archetype that you think they could eventually add that they missed out on. Let me know in the comments what y'all think of those. So archetype progression is the next thing they talk about. How do I unlock archetypes? When entering clubs for the first time, you'll select your first archetype. The remaining 12 archetypes can be obtained via clubs coins, FC points, or archetype unlock consumable items that can be found as rewards. So this is pretty interesting. You can just unlock one at the start. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to actually get another one, because maybe you don't like the first one that you unlock. You should be able to get like the second one at least pretty quickly. I'm assuming it's not going to be a ton of clubs coins. FC points, I guess it's a little pay to win possibly with FC points, but I think you still have to level it up and stuff. So you're just like paying pretty much to unlock it and then actually level it up. So it's not like crazy pay to win or anything like that. So I think that's fine. And then archetype unlock consumable items. I think they'll talk about that, the consumable items that they're adding into pro clubs later in this article. So how do I progress my archetype? Every time you play a clubs match in EA Sports FC26, you will earn archetype XP. AXP is the abbreviation. The more you play, the more AXP you can collect. The amount of AXP you earn will depend on, first thing is your role rating. The bulk of your AXP earnings will come from your role rating. Obtaining a higher rating can yield better AXP rewards. Your gameplay actions is the second thing. You will earn a small amount of AXP for every action you complete in a match. And then the match type is the last thing. Your AXP earned via role rating and gameplay actions will differ depending on whether you are playing a clubs league, playoffs, friendly, drop-in, clubs rush, or live event match. Then they also mention you'll be able to earn AXP by playing skill games, though the amount that you can earn each week will be limited, just as it has been in the past. And the picture I have on screen is basically what it looks like when you're leveling up your archetype. So once you've earned enough AXP, your archetype will move up to the next level. It's important to remember that each archetype progresses separately, as I was saying earlier. If you've unlocked multiple archetypes, you'll need to play matches with each one to level them up individually. They go into talk about leveling up the archetype. So as you progress your archetype, you'll receive rewards to help upgrade your attributes and abilities. So attribute points, which are abbreviated AP. AP can be spent to upgrade your attributes, taking you one step closer to unlocking more playstyles or even a specialization. And this is kind of going back to what I was talking about with them scrapping the skill tree. We now just have attribute points that you can pretty much just put on literally any attribute and just upgrade that attribute. You don't have to work the skill tree to upgrade certain attributes. So the next thing is signature playstyles upgrades. Each of your signature playstyles will upgrade to a playstyle plus, maximizing your archetype's power on the pitch. Unlock signature perks. Unlock extra signature perks to make your archetype stand out. I haven't mentioned this yet. They're bringing back perks, kind of like 22 and 23, if y'all remember that, but it's not going to be nearly as powerful. And you're going to have to do like stuff in game, like certain actions in game to activate the perk. And we'll take a look at that later. Archetypes live updates. At launch, each archetype can be progressed from level 1 up to level 50. So level 50 is going to be the max at first. This will give you plenty of room to grow and develop your archetype over time. However, the journey doesn't end there. Throughout the season, you can expect the maximum level to increase, along with more changes and updates to archetypes, meaning you'll have more opportunities to further upgrade and personalize your favorite archetypes as the season goes on. So that's really cool. I think a lot of people have been wanting this, and they actually did do that once this year. Like I don't know how long it's been, like a couple months at least, maybe 3 months, few months. They had that big update for pro clubs, not really a big update, but just the max level cap increase from level 100 to level 120. So they're basically going to do that. So eventually it'll probably be like level 75 for the max, then maybe level 100, and possibly Further down the year, it might even get higher, so we can have even better builds. The next thing is archetype cards, which I think a lot of y'all will like this, especially y'all Ultimate Team players. I like playing Ultimate Team, also playing Pro Clubs, and might bring some Ultimate Team players over here because it's a little bit card related. Your archetypes will have a card that it can be upgraded to look cooler, basically. So what they say, your archetype card is the visual representation of you and your archetype everywhere in clubs. As you progress, your archetype card will update to reflect your journey from bronze to icon. Each archetype has its own archetype card with a unique pose, background, and key attributes highlighted on the side to see how your target measures up against someone else's. If you want to show off, you can customize your card with backgrounds earned through season pass rewards, objective rewards, or the club's store. And the last thing they mention about archetype cards is that your archetype card is not just for you, it's how other players will see you during every big moment. You can expect to see archetype cards throughout the match experience, showcasing your virtual pro progression and achievements in new ways. And then after archetype card, they go down to consumables, which they're adding into pro clubs. Consumables introduce another way to impact your archetype progression outside of playing matches or skill games. Our intent with consumables is to help players who join clubs later in the life cycle catch up and feel like they can still make an impact. So I think this is pretty cool because I know a lot of players that are just getting into pro clubs. Maybe they're stopped playing Ultimate Team or just bought the game late or something. They're getting into pro clubs and they're like level 25 or level 10 or whatever, while everyone else is level 120. And as y'all know, it takes forever to level up. And they have some double XP events, but they're not very long. I don't know why it's not just double XP for the rest of the year or triple XP to make it easier. But this is a way to try and make that better for players playing pro clubs later in the year. So there will be multiple consumable types available in EA Sports FC 26, including Archetype XP, AXP multipliers. So Archetype XP multipliers boost the AXP match rewards for a set number of matches. That's what that will do. Direct apply AXP, instantly grant AXP to your active archetype. Note, to maintain balance, direct apply AXP consumables can only be used on archetypes under a predefined level, ensuring that the tool serves its purpose as a catch-up tool rather than a shortcut to max level archetypes. So that's pretty nice. So you're only going to be able to use that direct apply AXP if you're at a certain level. If you're over that level, you won't be able to use it. Archetype unlocks allows you to obtain any locked archetype via the archetypes screen. So I guess you wouldn't have to spend FC points or clubs coins to unlock an archetype, or whatever the other way was to unlock it. You can just get a consumable. I don't know if you have to pay for the consumable, does it say? Or maybe you can earn it through like achievements or something like that. That's pretty neat. And then the last thing is archetype resets, which is something that I don't really agree with. So it seems like in order to reset like the attribute points on your archetype, you will need to spend like clubs coins or something to reset it. But this is a consumable allowing you to reset for free. So archetype resets return your spent attribute points to your wallet, allowing you to redistribute them as you see fit. Oh, and then under that it says you can unlock these consumables through season pass rewards, objective rewards, or obtain them via the club store. This ensures that all players, whether they choose to purchase consumables or not, have the means to access them. So maybe in some way it's kind of pay to win, but I don't think it'll be that crazy because it seems like you can buy them in the club store with clubs coins, and I'm assuming probably FC points, so it might be easier to level up your archetypes if you have FC points and you want to spend it on like the XP multiplier or something like that, or the direct apply AXP until you get into like a certain level. But it is at least cool that you can unlock these consumables through like achievements and just playing the game. You don't have to pay for them. Moving on to the next thing on this article, which is signature playstyles and playstyle slots. So signature playstyles, each archetype in EA Sports FC 26 comes with its own set of unique signature playstyles that reflect that archetype style of play. These playstyles are automatically unlocked and equipped when you unlock your archetype, and they'll upgrade to playstyle plus as you progress with that archetype. So once you level up the archetype, um, enough times, I don't know what level that'll be, those playstyles will eventually get bumped to the playstyle plus. While signature playstyles cannot be removed, you do have the option to swap them out for a different playstyle plus once you unlock and equip a specialization for that archetype, giving you some flexibility in customizing your items as you advance. So this is what I was saying earlier. You are going to be allowed to switch them out, which is really nice because I thought it would be absolutely terrible if you couldn't, like you just had those signature playstyles that were set for the archetype and you had no flexibility to pick another playstyle plus. I don't think a lot of people would like that. Then there will be customizable playstyle slots. So on top of your signature playstyles, you'll also have customizable playstyle slots that allow you to tailor your archetype to suit your own style. As you progress through your archetype, the number of available customizable playstyles slots increases, allowing for more flexibility in tailoring your archetype's abilities. You can assign any playstyle to these slots as long as your archetype meets the necessary attribute unlock requirements for that playstyle. Then it says any playstyle equipped to your customizable slots will not upgrade to the playstyle plus version of that playstyle. So if you have, like, say, low driven on silver, you're not going to be able to get it to the plus if you have it on silver, which makes sense. You're obviously not going to have both. I think that's what they mean by that. So the next thing is attribute unlock requirements. So each playstyle has specific attribute unlock requirements that must be met before it can be equipped. To unlock a playstyle, you need to upgrade the relevant attributes to the required value. These requirements are consistent across all archetypes, meaning the AP cost to unlock a playstyle may vary depending on the starting attribute values of the chosen archetype. For example, to unlock Deadball, you must first upgrade the attributes below. You need 75 free kick accuracy, so you have to upgrade the free kick accuracy to 75 or higher to have dead ball, as well as you need minimum 80 crossing and a minimum 80 shot power. So you cannot use the silver dead ball playstyle unless you have 75 free kick accuracy or higher, 80 crossing, and 80 shot power. So that's an example, and that's pretty much how it's going to work for all the playstyles. Then they start talking more about attributes, so minimum and maximum values. Each archetype has a unique set of minimum and maximum values for all attributes, as well as unique ranges for weak foot and skill moves. So for certain archetypes, you won't be able to go below a certain amount for attributes. Basically, I guess just like the base starting attributes is pretty much what that is. The base starting attributes will be different for each archetype. Obviously, that's like the main way you make them different. But then they'll also have maximum value, so you probably won't be able to get like 99 stats in a lot of the attributes for certain archetypes. You probably will for some, like say like the magician, you could probably have like pretty high agility, but with like strength, you probably can't get like over 80 strength or something like that, because that might be a bit of like a weaker archetype if it's based on like Cruyff or something. The target archetype, you'll definitely be able to have high strength, but maybe your dribbling can't be very high or something like that. And there's also the weak foot and skill moves. So if you're going to be like a defender archetype, maybe you can't get like 5-star skills. With archetypes, you'll now be able to upgrade any attribute you want. When you level up your archetype, you receive attribute points that can be used to improve any attribute directly from the edit attribute screen. As you increase an attribute, the AP cost for further upgrades will also rise, making higher values tougher to reach. So say you're at like a 90 agility, you want to bump it up to like 91 or something, whatever the number is, bump it up more. It will cost a lot more. Say you're trying to like bump up the agility from like 70 to 71, that'll be cheaper. Once you get those attributes higher, if you want to upgrade them more, it will cost more. And then any upgrades you make are permanent, but if you want to reallocate your points, you can request an archetype reset using clubs coins or a reset consumable, which returns all previous spent AP to your wallet. So this is what I was talking about with the archetype reset consumable. You can use that or clubs coins. I don't think it'll be a ton of clubs coins. It'll probably be a pretty small amount. It's pretty easy to get clubs coins as it is now. But I don't really like that. I wish you could just reset the attribute points whenever you want without having to spend coins or needing a consumable. But I think they're doing that to make like your decision on allocating those attributes more worthwhile and like more important, so you just can't just delete them immediately. So key attributes are next. Each archetype comes designated with 4 specific key attributes that complement the way your selected archetype is built to play. These key attributes cost less AP to upgrade for that archetype compared to others, making it more efficient to develop that archetype in a way that suits its strengths. Key attributes are highlighted by default when entering the Edit Attributes screen, making them easy to identify whenever you want to upgrade. Here, where it shows the Finisher archetype, it's showing the attribute screen, and then the ones that are in the green text are the key attributes. So those will be cheaper to upgrade. Finishing, reactions, composure, volleys are the key attributes for the Finisher archetype. Those are going to cost less AP points to upgrade than, say, like agility or vision or something like that on the Finisher archetype, and it will be different for each archetype. So let's move on to the next thing, which is height and weight. To preserve gameplay balance, each archetype comes with its own specific range for height and weight. While you can adjust your height or weight within this range to match your desired look or style of play, doing so will have a minor impact on a select few attributes. So there's going to be a height range for each archetype. So say like boss center back, I'm assuming it's going to be a bigger center back, a physical center back. That's like the type of archetype. That's what the role is going to be. So I'm thinking it's going to be like 6'2" to 6'5" or something like that. While the progressor center back is more of a ball playing center back. So it might be a little bit shorter, like 5'10" to 6'2" or something like that. So that will keep them a bit more balanced. You can't be like a tall progressor center back, and it'll make them a little bit different, and you'll have to um, pay attention to that when it comes to making a build and selecting an archetype. And this could be good for competitive, possibly could help balance the gameplay. That's kind of the whole reason they're doing this. So not everyone can just be like a tall player, because tall players are just so OP. That's why so many competitive leagues and clubs just ban or have restrictions on certain heights. You can be like 6 foot tallest for all players other than like defenders and goalkeepers. So maybe there won't have to be as many restrictions with the way they're doing these archetypes, like height ranges. So let me see what's in there. Where was I? Um, yeah, so doing so will have a minor impact on a select few attributes. If you change the height or weight in an archetype, it'll only change a few, so it's probably not like as big of a difference compared to how it's been. Not too sure about that. These changes don't alter the base attribute values of the archetype itself. Instead, the adjustments are applied as a small increase or decrease to the relevant attributes only when you enter a match in any clubs mode, similar to how you experience a boost via clubs facilities. All right, so the next subject is specializations. Specializations introduce 3 unique variants to each archetype for you to develop toward over time, encouraging you to either break the mold or double down or become the elite version of your chosen archetype. I'm not too familiar with this. Attribute unlock requirements. Similar to playstyles, specializations are unlocked by upgrading certain attributes to the required value via the Edit Attributes screen. So you're going to have to upgrade attributes again to a minimum amount or higher than that if you want to unlock certain specializations. For example, upgrading finishing, heading accuracy, and volleys past the required values will transform your playmaking maestro archetype into a box crashing midfielder capable of changing the game with late runs into the box from deep. So specialization upgrades. By unlocking a specialization, you gain an extra signature perk that will be assigned to your archetype for as long as the specialization remains equipped, and an additional signature playstyle plus that can be assigned to one of your archetype's signature playstyle slots. So transforming your maestro into a crasher will grant you first touch plus to control those passes into the box, and the box crash perk to help you slot it home. Only one specialization can be equipped at a time, so if you unlock more than one, you'll need to choose which to use in order to benefit from its rewards. So I'm trying to think, is this the only way you're going to be able to change a playstyle plus on an archetype, is going through specialization upgrades? I think it might have mentioned that at the beginning. I was thinking maybe it was just you can pick whatever, but I guess this makes more sense when you're trying to like keep it related to the archetype, because you could use like the target man. You could put like, I guess, like technical plus on the target man, and that wouldn't really make sense. So this is, I guess, the way to switch the playstyle plus on an archetype. So you could add first touch plus to it. And let me go back. What did Maestro have initially? So Maestro has Tiki Taka and Pinged Pass. So you're gonna get those to plus eventually once you upgrade it. But if you do this specialization upgrade, the box crashing midfielder, you'll get first touch. So you could basically put first touch plus on the build instead of one of those two that are already the set signature playstyles for that archetype. So you have a little bit of flexibility. And then following the specialization upgrades, they go into signature perks. So you're going to have two signature perks, but as it said in the specialization upgrade, once you get that specialization unlocked, you then unlock a third perk. So that's how you get a third perk, by getting a specialization upgrade. So the specialization upgrade will be actually crucial, it seems like, for most archetypes, just to have that extra perk on top of that, and then having some flexibility with the playstyle plus. So signature perks are new on pitch abilities designed to encourage you to embody your chosen archetype or specialization whenever you step on the pitch. Each archetype comes with two signature perks that are unlocked through the course of your archetype progression, while a third is equipped whenever you have a specialization active. So that's what I was saying. So there are three types of perks. Action-based perks are the first one, and those activate after you perform a specific action and provide you with a temporary attribute boost. For example, the press and pass perk assigned to the recycler archetype delivers a temporary boost to short passing, reactions, and vision after regaining possession in your own half. So this is like almost a new way to kind of play the game in a way. You got to think about your perks that you have active and the boost that you'll be getting once you do a certain action. Like the recycler one, you just win the ball in your own half and you get a boost to those attributes. But I don't think it'll be that crazy of a boost. Like it'll be +5 max, is my guessing. Might not even be that much. It might be even less than that, like maybe +2, +3, very minimal boost. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. And it seems like each archetype is going to have their own perks based on that archetype. Hopefully, it actually will tell us the exact attribute boost these perks give you, but I'm not too sure if they will, because they didn't do that in 22 and 23 when they had perks in pro clubs. But yeah, you might want to keep in mind like some of your attributes. Like if you have them completely maxed out at 99, then the perk boost will just not be beneficial. The second type of perk is the mechanic based perk, which triggers when using a certain control or technique. A creator archetype, for instance, gets a boost to curve, short passing, and long passing when making precision passes in the middle third via the precise pass perk. So the precise pass perk is what it's called. That's an example of one of them, and it'll give the curve, short, and long passing a boost on the creator archetype, but that'll only happen when you're doing precision passes. So for me, I might actually really like that perk. I do a ton of precision passes, precision lob passes, precision ground passes, and I think I would like that. So that's pretty cool. Just doing like a certain input on your controller can activate a perk. The third type of perk is team focused perks, which benefit your teammates. If a creator plus specialization completes a through pass in the opponent's half, the receiver temporarily gains a boost in finishing, balance, and ball control via the assistant perk. So this is really unique. If you play a through ball to your striker, they're just going to get a boost in those attributes, and they should be able to finish the chance off, hopefully, with the extra finishing. But you also might want to keep in mind, like, if your striker has 99 finishing somehow, I don't know if it'll even be possible. They might not need 99 finishing, because when you're playing a through ball to them and they're going in behind, they're going to get that finishing boost. So if they have 99 finishing, it would just kind of be a waste of a boost. It might not be that important anyways, but you might want to think about that and communicate with your teammate for certain perks in situations like that. Then EA actually did provide us with pictures of a list of all the perks, and there's 4 different pictures. I think they're categorized in forward, midfielder, defender, and goalkeeper um archetypes. So I might just read like a couple on each picture. I'm not going to read through all this. This will take a while, but if you want, you can pause the video or go to the article and read these all yourself. It's a lot of information to consume. So finisher archetype, fake shot in a real shot in the box to gain a short boost to shot power, finishing, and composure. So that was called fake to real. Fake shot and a real shot in the box. The wording is kind of weird to me, but basically you do a fake shot, and then after that fake shot, you do a real shot, and then you get a boost to shot power, finishing, and composure. Next one is a 1v1 master. In a 1 versus 1 with a goalkeeper, gain a short boost to ball control, agility, and balance. So that's the forward perks. And then the midfielder perks. So spark, creative wing, knock on past an opponent, and attacking wing for a boost to acceleration, agility, ball control. So you do the knock on with the right stick. You do that past the defender, and you'll get a boost there. This third one I think I'll really like, skill to fast feet. But you need the spark plus archetype. Skill move past an opponent on the attacking wing to boost agility, acceleration, and sprint speed. I really like doing skills, so if you get a boost for beating somebody with a skill move, that seems very nice. And I did notice on these pictures, some of these archetypes that are listed are actually different names, and I think that is something to do with the signature specialization upgrades, like what I was talking about with the creator. There's a crasher one under this midfielder one. They were saying to get that signature specialization for the creator and upgraded it to the crasher, like the box crasher, and then you unlock this perk if you do that. And then there's also the creator plus, which is I think another variation of the signature specializations. The wording is getting kind of confusing. There's so much info here, it's crazy. So now defender archetypes, engine, 1v1 shutdown, jockey, near of dribbler in defensive half for a boost to interceptions, reactions, and ball control. That seems really good actually, but it has to be in your defensive half, which isn't too bad. And then the next one for engine is press and pass. Win the ball in the defensive half to gain a short boost to short passing, vision, balance. Everywhere. What is this one? Everywhere. This fourth one, pass and go. Do a pass and go in the middle third for a short boost to dribbling, sprint speed, agility. Some of these like dribbling, sprint speed, and agility ones seems like they'd be really good, like the acceleration. Any of the pace and like dribbling boosts seem like they'll be really nice for a perk. And then the last one is goalkeeper perk. So sweeper keeper, high line perk. Receive ground passes and defensive half for a short boost to short passing, ball control, and vision. Rush specialist, rush dribbler in the box for a short boost to acceleration, aggression, and reactions. I think that would be pretty good. So maybe aggression actually does make a difference for a goalkeeper. I didn't actually know that. I don't know if very many goalkeepers actually upgrade aggression, but this perk is giving you an aggression boost, so maybe it actually does. This last one, let's see what that is. Octopus archetype is what you need. Perk name, Anticipator. Instant save when near dribbler for a short boost to vision, reflexes, handling. So I believe an instant save, is that like some input you need to activate that? Not too sure exactly what that means. But yeah, those are all the perks. Again, not going to read over all that. That'll just take a very long time. Feel free to look at those if y'all want. The next thing that they go over is live events, and this is brand new. You can team up and compete in new ways with live events, delivering dynamic Clubs Rush tournament experiences. Each live event comes in the form of a single elimination knockout tournament. So they're kind of bringing back the tournaments or the cups, whatever they called it, that they had back in the day, and then they removed. But I believe these are only for Rush, so just Rush tournaments, just to give Rush some more love. I think Rush has a lot of potential, just for like the competitive side of things, where you only need like 5 players. You can now actually have a real goalkeeper in Rush. So I think competitively, Rush would be very fun to see. And adding tournaments and events like this, just fun, unique little events, is just something new to do. And you can compete in a tournament style knockout kind of game mode. I think that's really cool that they added this. So this will be where your skill will be tested across a max of 4 Rush knockout rounds. So 4 rounds in a single elimination tournament. There's also a brand new Rush stadium to give each tournament a more focused, intense atmosphere. Plus, you can celebrate on stage with your squad after a trophy win. There is a little picture here showing, I guess, the Rush Stadium. So how are these events structured? Each player starts with a limited number of attempts to win the tournament. Winning a match allows you to move on to the next round, while losing a match costs you an attempt and sends you back to the first round. Using up all your attempts will see you are eliminated from the event, though some events will reset your available attempts after a certain period, giving you another chance to participate. The tournament can only be won by claiming victory in consecutive matches across all rounds, up to and including the final. So it might be somewhat difficult to win a tournament, especially if you're playing against other teams that have a squad and they're trying really hard. I'm assuming the way they word it, you have like lives, but those are going to be for each player. You're not going to be like for a club. You can't like go in as a club, I guess, and y'all will have lives. I guess you can just go in by yourself with like random teammates maybe. And that's why they have that. So event progress is tracked individually and not as a squad. I just said that basically is what I was saying. And there is no time limit for starting your next match. So you can take your time editing your archetype before attempting the next round with a new batch of teammates. Just don't wait too long, as each event will eventually expire. How do I enter a live event? You'll be able to see the full list of available and upcoming live events from the Live Events tab in the Play menu. Simply select the available event you want to enter and proceed into the lobby. From there, you can choose to invite your friends or search for a match solo. All matchmaking will pair you with teammates and opponents at the same tournament stage. So that's cool. So if you're in the final, the last stage, you're going to play another team that's in the final. So it should be better competition than maybe like the first round or the second round you play. This is ensuring all players know exactly what is at stake. Each live event will always look to ensure you have a full squad of outfield players before entering a match, but in the event that a full squad can't be found, a team of 2 human players minimum can proceed with AI teammates filling the opponent or the open spots. In order to play with friends, you will need to all be at the same tournament round to proceed. So if you play like a round before your friend plays, then they get on, and then y'all want to play together, he's going to have to play and win first to get to like the second round, and then y'all can play together. If you happen to be in a later round than your lobby mates, then you can choose to reset your progress from inside the live event lobby in order to compete alongside them. Doing so will result in losing a tournament attempt. So you can reset, but that's a waste of an attempt. You might as well just try to do the tournament by yourself, and then if it doesn't work, then you can play with your teammates instead of just wasting an attempt. Entry requirements. Each club's Rush live event can have its own unique set of entry requirements to increase the level of competition or introduce fun new challenges that shake up the club's Rush experience. Some events may require you to increase your club's Rush player rank, improve your selected archetype to a predefined level, or even require you to use a specific archetype in order to access the event. There will be multi-stage events, so some events may even be linked together over multiple stages, where winning the first event will unlock a higher tier event in the future where you'll be playing for even bigger rewards. If you miss out on the first stage, no problem. Some events will allow you to enter into a redemption stage where you'll get a second chance of making it to the next round. Flexible rules and house rules events, whether it's increasing the tension from the opening whistle by shortening the match length or staging golden goal matches, Clubs Rush live events are intended to give you a wide variety of experiences. We'll have some exciting new Rush house rules options exclusive to Clubs Rush live events, including designated score, goals count as double when scored by your designated score. That's actually pretty cool. Stay alert, though, as the chosen player changes throughout the game. Okay, so it's not just one player for the entire game. Rugby Rush is another one. The referee's not watching. Dominate your opponent with powerful shoulder barges that won't get penalized. So you can like bruiser people and you won't get fouled. But I guess if you like slide tackle, it's still a foul. It's only not fouls when it comes to bruising people. At least that's what it seems like the way they worded that. So a lot of people would probably be using Bruiser Plus and like some strong builds possibly. Keep an eye out for these over the course of the FC 26 season. So I think this is actually really nice to see. Just more love for Rush, and this is a completely different way to play clubs. Small-sided, and these unique, fun game modes are going to be really cool and refreshing. I honestly didn't think this video would take this long, but man, there is so much. But we are nearing the end, kinda. So the next thing is objectives and rewards. Each live event will be linked to the club's objectives system inside of FC Hub, providing you with more reason to put together a squad and take on the latest tournament. Rewards will vary from event to event, giving you the opportunity to earn cosmetic items for your pro, archetype card backgrounds, or even consumables to help boost your archetype's progression. So this is what we've also needed, like a way to just like compete and play and earn rewards. Like you can get those consumables that you can use to like upgrade your archetype or reset your attribute points, all those consumables I went over, or um cosmetics for the cards that they're introducing, your archetype card, or even for your pro, obviously like hairstyles, facial hair, boots, all that cool stuff. We need more cosmetics. More cosmetics, the better. You can't have too much cosmetics. I know there's a lot of new stuff coming to clubs in 26, but this next one might be my favorite, and it's a new revamped clubs lobby screen. If y'all have played pro clubs pretty much ever since the beginning, the pro clubs like lobby and matchmaking is just so buggy. There's so many different bugs and glitches. You have to reset the lobby, get everyone out of the lobby, get back in, and hopefully it'll work. It's just so annoying, and it's like the biggest problem with clubs in my opinion, especially this year. It's really bad with the lobby bug. So they have a whole new lobby and it looks kind of like Ultimate Team, which I actually like. It looks way better. The other one was outdated, and possibly with this new lobby screen, there won't be as much matchmaking bugs. That's wishful thinking, but that would be great. Or maybe it would be easier for them to like fix the bugs or something. Hopefully the matchmaking will be better in 26, but I like the look of this lobby screen, and I'm assuming, I guess you can't see their cards. It's showing these players in this lobby screen, but it's not showing their archetype card. I was thinking the archetype card would be in the lobby screen, but you might be able to like click on them and then it'll pop up their card. I think at the bottom right here, it says shows the Y button next to the boss archetype. So maybe you could press Y on it and you could see their card and some of their attributes. So the next thing is roll fit and overall. You can check how well your archetype selection fits the position and role of each vacant position in your club's chosen tactic. Simply highlight any vacant position on the lobby pitch to observe your role fit. Perfect fit. Your archetype is a perfect match for this role and position. Good fit. Your archetype is a good fit for this position, but perhaps not the ideal role. Okay fit. Your archetype is not particularly suited to this role or position. Bad fit is out of position. Similarly, when navigating vacant positions on the lobby pitch, you can observe your archetype's overall value for the highlighted position. So this is interesting. Still trying to see like kind of what they're talking about. Like over here on the right, you can see under the big boss icon, it shows role, playmaker, bad fit, because he's the boss archetype. So that's like the big physical center back. Probably not going to be a playmaking center mid. But like I said, you can use like maybe that progressor defender archetype and use that in the midfield, and it could be pretty good. So I don't know how it's basing it off. Like, is it just basing that this is a defender archetype and you're using in the midfield, so it's not like great, or is it basing it off of like the attributes actually on your archetype that you have set? Not too sure if it even said that. I don't think it says anything like that, but that's interesting to see too. Let me know in the comments what y'all think of that. Match status widget is next. Receive real-time updates from in-progress matches and monitor the status of clubs, league matchmaking, or friendly challenge requests via the new match status widget. I don't think they have an image showing what that actually looks like, unless I missed it, which is unfortunate. I kind of want to see what they're talking about right there. But on to the next thing, new set piece assignment. So I think this is pretty much throughout the entire game, but this is really cool that they added this in clubs. A number of new set piece assignments have been added to the assignments tab, giving you more control over your routines. 2 new attacking corner kick assignments, top of box, defensive corner, 5 total. So near post, back post, target player, top of box, and defensive cover. So you can basically set like where you want people to spawn on corner kicks, like attacking corner kicks. And then there's 4 separate defensive corner kick assignments: threat marker, post watcher, near post, back post. And then there is a left throw-in taker, right throw-in taker. So you can assign who's taking the throw-ins on the right, who's taking the throw-ins on the left. You have somebody with like long throw play style, then you probably want to put them on like both or something. So this is pretty nice because I know this year is really bad because you can't change how many people go up for set pieces. So especially if you have AI like in the back, all the defenders will be like in the box. And if you don't have actual players on your team watching for the counter, a lot of times it just leads to a goal for the other team. So this should probably prevent that. Another massive change is that you can be in multiple clubs at once. You can now be a member of up to 3 clubs at any time and can freely switch between them using the switch clubs function inside the club's menu. So for all those people that are constantly going into new clubs, sending transfer requests, you won't have to do that as much because you can be in 3 at a time, no more than 3. So that's one thing that a lot of people have been asking for. Good to see that they're listening to the community. Clubs Rush and playoff rewards. You will only be able to earn Clubs Rush and playoff rewards on behalf of a single favorite club that's selectable from the Switch Clubs screen. You can switch your favorite club at any time during the season, but you'll need to make sure it's set to the one you want before rewards are distributed at season's end. So on that in that picture, you can see on the left, at the top left of that first one, Clubs FC, it shows a gold star. So that means that is your club that you have favorited. So that's the club that you will receive like the end of season rewards from, but you can switch that. Like you probably want to switch it to like whichever club is going to have the best rewards. The next topic is for goalkeepers and clubs. So they made a new goalkeeper system. So the way you play goalkeeper is different and hopefully it will be a lot better. There are a lot of updates to the Be-A-Goalkeeper experience in FC26, including new controls and assistance levels, playstyles for bag, revamped UI components, and updated presentation featuring unique camera and audio treatments. Bag, by the way, is short for Be-A-Goalkeeper. And then they say for full details of the revamped Be-A-Goalkeeper experience, check out the gameplay deep dive pitch notes that they've already released. So if you're interested in more info on the Be-A-Goalkeeper system, you can take a look at that pitch notes that they released. So Be-A-Goalkeeper in Clubs and Rush. Players will now be able to test their ability on the Rush pitch exclusively in Clubs Rush. In support of this Clubs Rush matchmaking experience has undergone a few changes. The maximum lobby size has increased to 5, though one must be using a goalkeeper archetype in order to proceed to a match. So yeah, you can't just have like 5 players not using a goalkeeper archetype because one of them will be put as a goalkeeper, and that's not good. So you need one of those 5 to be a goalkeeper to actually get into a match. Whether your squad has a goalkeeper or not, matchmaking will attempt to find a squad similar to yours. If your group would prefer to play without a goalkeeper, you can disable the find goalkeeper setting inside your club's rush lobby. If you run into a lot of problems with like actual goalkeepers in Rush that are kind of like screwing y'all over, messing around, then you can definitely turn that setting off if that annoys you. So that's nice that they added that. There will now be facilities for AIs. So facilities are being expanded in FC26 with the introduction of AI facilities that boost the attributes for your AI teammates. With the facility budget now shared between AI and player facility upgrades, club managers now have a lot more to think about when deciding how to best allocate their resources. So it's not a separate budget. The facility budget for your club that's going to affect real players is the same as that budget as AI, but it's not the same facility cards. There's going to be separate AI facility cards and separate real player facility cards, but they will share the same budget. So if you have a team of 11, obviously you're not going to go for AI boost, but even if you have a team of 2, like maybe there won't be much teams like trying to boost the AI unless you want to like just test it out because you would probably rather boost your player. But it could be a good strategy. Like if you only have like 2 or 3 players, maybe just boost your AI and see if they improve and aren't like absolutely trash on defense. So gameplay impact. AI facilities are similar to player facilities, but with a few key differences. AI facility upgrades will only come in form of attribute increases. So you can't get any playstyles from these AI facilities, just attribute boost. AI facility upgrades are position group specific, meaning you will have a group of facilities dedicated to improving your forwards, while another one will be solely dedicated to training your goalkeeper. So be sure to consider the position you and your club mates will be taking up when allocating your budget. Other improvements regarding facilities: in response to community feedback, player facilities have also been rebalanced to provide more consistent value. Look out for more updates to club facilities throughout the FC 26 season. There is like a couple facilities that I use now that I just think are the best in the game, like the one that gives a relentless playstyle and the one that like boosts acceleration. And I know like some other pace facilities are common, and like dribbling and maybe passing facilities. So maybe they're trying to balance them out, because there are some that are just terrible and you definitely don't want to use them, and then some are like really good. So they need to balance them out a bit. So I think that's what they mean by that. Bear with me, guys. We're almost done. Just a few more things we need to go over. So the next thing is clubs gameplay. Competitive gameplay is mandatory and or locked in clubs in FC 26. So it's not going to be on the authentic gameplay setting that they announced. It's going to be competitive gameplay, which I assumed it was already going to be like that for pretty much all the online game modes, and then authentic gameplay will be for offline game modes. Our goal with competitive gameplay is to create a more competitive experience by reducing the impact of randomness and assistance. This is an experience tailored for players who enjoy fast-paced, responsive gameplay. The changes to competitive gameplay aim to deliver on the three competitive community priorities: responsiveness, consistency, and control. For more details regarding competitive gameplay, check out the Gameplay Deep Dive Pitch Notes article. They go into more info there. Next is the fatigue redesign. So the impact of fatigue will be redefined on the competitive gameplay experience in FC 26 to support our goal of improving responsiveness across the game. When controlling your pro, short-term fatigue will continue to work as before. For example, when short-term stamina depletes, you will be slower when running until the fatigue bar recovers. So that's the same. They've always had short-term and long-term stamina, but now there will no longer, or you will no longer experience a loss of long-term fatigue. So there's not going to be any long-term fatigue, which is interesting because I feel like a lot of people are just going to be running around, um, and the stamina is not going to be as big of a deal as it's been prior in other years. So this applies to any time you're controlling a player, even if you aren't any, and alternating between players. For AI players have a reduction in sprint speed and acceleration when fatigued. Long-term and short-term fatigue are in effect. So they do have long-term fatigue, but real players don't in clubs. This will be interesting. I'll have to see how it is, but upgrading stamina still might be kind of important for the short-term fatigue, but I don't think it's going to be as important compared to other years. And I think it could be a little crazy, especially in competitive, where stamina isn't gonna matter as much. 22 players on a pitch at one time, pretty much not getting tired, unless you just are spamming the sprint button and screwing your short-term stamina. It seems like it's gonna be a little hectic, to be honest, but we'll see how that plays out. Playstyles and attributes. Relentless and Relentless Plus playstyles have been changed to increase how quickly your short-term fatigue recovers. Match rating in clubs has been redefined as role rating for FC 26, meaning each player's performance will now be related to the actions that matter the most to their assigned role. Box-to-box, playmaker, inside forward, for example, could be some roles. To ensure you are getting a rating that is based on the actions that matter to your role, we created several different categories: goalkeeping, defending, dribbling, shooting, passing, and a unique group that includes stats such as goals scored or conceded by the team, red cards, and even individual goals or assists. These will impact all players equally. You can find a breakdown of these ratings and how much they contribute to the total rating in the performance screens during a match. Some similar roles will be grouped together. For example, the rating of a CB with defender or stopper will be primarily based on their defensive actions, while the rating of a ball-playing CB will also consider the effectiveness of their passing. As an example, let's take two central midfielders who performed exactly the same in the same match, creating a number of key chances and providing an assist while performing identically in defense. One has been assigned the box-to-box role, while the other has been assigned the playmaker role. Box-to-box, defensive, and attacking actions are rated equally. This player may receive a match rating of 8.0 for their performance. Playmaker, creative actions like through passes, assists, and dictating the pace of play are weighted more heavily than defensive actions, this player may receive a match rating of 8.5 for their performance due to the increased value of chance creation when assessing this role. Holy guys, that was a lot of words, but it's cool to see that they are changing up the match rating system, and it'll be based on like the actual role. So this should be a bit easier for defenders to get like higher ratings rather than like the strikers or the attacking positions just always having the higher rating compared to the more defensive positions. We're finally to the last subject in this article, and this is over expanded quick chat options, which I honestly don't really care about because I had the quick chat disabled in the settings pretty much this entire year. So we've added 4 diverse quick chat categories, each featuring 4 messages for a deeper social experience. After pressing a direction on the D-pad, a set of new messages will be selected to provide further communication options to your teammates. So the first category is instructions, and this is a yellow color. Um, there's 4 of them, so it says keep it simple, drop back, passing game, and push up are the 4 options you can pick under instructions. And then compliments, which is a cyan color, golazo, thanks, let's go, what a save. Engagement is a magenta color, lock in, shake it off, my bad, unlucky. And then celebrations is green. This is cold, that's cold, bro, something like that, Yoga bonito, goat, and GG. So those are all the new quick chat options. And actually, there is one last thing right here. CPU AI. The club CPU AI has received some improvements to the call for pass system, making the CPU more intelligent when considering pass requests and preferring better options when multiple requests come in at the same time. This improvement extends to both clubs and rush, ensuring the CPU goalkeeper will choose better pass options when players spam the pass request. This was a big problem and probably the worst I've seen in pro clubs when it comes to calling for the ball from AI. If multiple people were calling for it, they literally like wouldn't pass. They couldn't decide who to pass it to, and that would just lead to them getting the ball just stolen from and then getting scored on, especially if it was like a center back that was happening to. So that's good that they're making the AI smarter. I know it's gonna be a really long video, but if y'all watch till the end and you're listening to me right now, I really do appreciate that for watching the entire video. There's so much stuff coming to Pro Club, so I hope y'all are excited. I want to hear y'all's thoughts in the comments about some of this stuff. Let me know what y'all have to say. Like this video for me. Again, comment under this video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I'm going to have a lot of Pro Clubs content coming out for the rest of 25 and of course 26.